I'll begin by congratulating Florida State. They outplayed us in the first half. Certainly, mistake after mistake for us, in particular in the first half. And obviously more mistakes in the second half. We started to overcome some of those, and played with I would consider more of a sense of urgency, with the last 12 minutes. But, our margin for error was so small that we couldn't make any more mistakes. I was proud of our resolve. We battled, but, we just have to learn how to play the game the right way, and that is for 4 quarters. We didn't play with the kind of sense of urgency that I want for 4 quarters, and that was evident in our play. We didn't tackle very well. We couldn't get off the field on 3rd down. We didn't execute very well offensively. We had 2 turnovers in our punt return game, which we thought would be an asset for us, and then we had a blocked field goal and a blocked extra point. Anytime you have those kinds of situations, you're setting yourself up for a long night. And despite all of those things, I stand here in front of you with an opportunity to bring the game into an overtime situation. So what we did well is we battled. Proud of the way we battled. What obviously we need to do better is play with a sense of urgency for 4 quarters, which we did not. What we learned is we've got to coach better. I mean, we've got to have our kids coached in a manner where they're ready, and I'm accountable for that. And we have to have them tackling better, executing better in all phases. So with that, I'll open up to questions.
Coach, do you think it took the quarterback a little while to get in the rhythm?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, it's an opener, and you saw a better rhythm. We had some drop passes, and we didn't protect as well. That's a good team. Florida State played well. That's why I congratulated them at the very beginning. They for 4 quarters, they played better football, quite frankly. But yeah, we got into a better rhythm certainly in the second half. Jaden did, and he's a threat. But we don't want to rely on him having to go back there. And when he does sit in the pocket, we saw his ability to find open receivers, show the patience, and in particular on the last touchdown, he stayed in the pocket, showed great patience, and found Dre Jenkins in the back of the end zone.
Brian, what do you make of the special teams?
Well, I've been doing this a long time. You put a guy back there and a guy like Malik Neighbors, and you watch him, you evaluate him through 4 weeks of practice, and you feel comfortable that with his elite skill set and his mindset that he's going to be able to do a great job, and that wasn't the case. That was a mistake that we made. He wants to do it, and we'll have to reevaluate that situation. He's a great kid. We didn't lose the game because he dropped those 2 punts. We miraculously were able to overcome those. You usually wouldn't, but that's that's on us. We made that evaluation. We watched him catch punts, and we felt like he was in a position that he could do that for us. As it relates to the field goal, it came from the same left side. We made an adjustment after the field goal and made a switch in personnel, and that didn't work either. That's us. We have to do a better job coaching.
When you talk about those mistakes, is that something you saw through camp and maybe expected to some extent, or was it a surprise? I guess it's so wild.
No, we felt like we could get off the field on 3rd down. we thought we would tackle better, but you don't go through camp tackling at the level that, you're trying to tackle, the quarterback here at Florida State is very difficult, and we had a hard time getting him on the ground, quite frankly. And we have some pretty good players that couldn't get him on the ground. But we didn't tackle very well. We didn't communicate as effectively as we needed to on the back end of our defense. And again, that's coaching and that's execution. And we're all in this together, players and coaches alike. We have to go back tomorrow and go back to work and get better at those things. But no, we didn't go through camp and go, wow, we are who we are. We have all these holes. We didn't expect, a lot of the mistakes that we saw out there today. But as coaches, we have to be critical of ourselves and look at our evaluation and say that, we're part of this as well, and we've got to do a better job coaching. No, that's a knee that he'll get an MRI first thing in the morning.
Brian, did you give any thought to a two-point conversion there at the end, especially given some of the protection issues you guys had?
For a slight moment, but felt like in that situation that it was the prudent and percentage-wise that we were going to be able to execute it. Well, I mean, I think their front is very good. They brought a lot of pressure. Their defensive ends were a challenge, for, a true freshman and our right tackle. They battled. Like I said, I mean, we were in a position to, play much better, I think, as they settled in. It's a first game situation. I'll have to look at the film and give you a better evaluation. Yeah, I mean, lack of communication is one way to put it. I would just say, as this game is moving fast, it's making sure that you're not tipping off coverages and, making sure you're leveraging the football the right way as well as communicating. And yeah, these guys haven't played a ton of football, and they're going to get better. Look, I'm not here to, say we take any solace in a loss. That's not why I'm here at LSU, to learn about great lessons in losses. But the reality of it is we've got some learning to do. We've got to coach better and we've got to play better. I just said that he'll have a MRI in the morning. I think it's like anything else. Here's a great player trying to make plays, maybe trying to do a little too much, try to catch the ball before he had it. And I wouldn't read too much into it. I think he learned tonight that, he's just got to let the game come to him. There's going to be some nights where, he doesn't get all the balls. There's so much, that young man has so many, so much on his shoulders. We just got to get to him and tell him to let the game come to him. He's going to get his catches and not to press as much.
Did you expect such a heavy quarterback run game?
Oh yeah, I mean, we knew he was part of their offensive structure runs through him. Oh, my quarterback. No, well, as I said earlier, we didn't want him. Those were scrambles that he was smart. There was a lot of man coverage. So, we're telling our quarterback, we got a lot of bare front, we got a lot of pressure fronts, and that was a game plan that we hadn't seen from them. And, if he didn't feel like there was somebody open, that's the dimension that he brings, and that's running the football. So that's the one thing you're going to give up if you got guys turning their back and running, and we took advantage of that.
Coach has time for two more questions.
Did you get a question about the offense good? When it was looking and balls
Yeah, certainly. And again, I'm not here to, we're not happy with the outcome. We have to play better. We've got to coach better. But I'm proud of the way our guys competed, and there's going to be good days for this football team. But they've got to recognize, and our coaches have to recognize, we've got to put them in good positions, and we've got to play with a sense of urgency. We saw when we played with a sense of urgency, we came up with big stops, and we answered every score. And I think the tempo of the offense improved. Players look comfortable out there. We ran the ball, in tough areas when we needed to. That's good football, and we didn't have enough of that. Go ahead.
Defense seemed to struggle to make stops on third down. I think at one point FSU had converted 6 of 7 third downs. What was kind of the reason for that?
If I could give you one particular reason that we could have, settled into, we would have made even more adjustments. It was a variety of things. Most of it had to do with their quarterback improvising. We had him dead to right on 2 or 3 occasions. We didn't get him on the ground, quite frankly. And when you don't get that kid on the ground, he makes some really good impromptu plays. And sometimes we weren't down in coverage, close enough on body. But by and large, not getting off the field, was a major factor in tonight's game, no doubt.